Ladies and gentlemen, the Commencement Advisory Committee is charged with conducting a search each semester to select a graduating student to present a message on behalf of the graduating class. This year they have selected Jared Milrad. Jared, will you please join me at the podium? Today, Jared will receive a bachelor's degree in Fisheries and Wildlife Sciences with a concentration in wildlife. He has earned Dean's List honors every semester during his 4 years here at NC State. That's worthy of applause. I mean, every semester. Recently, Jared received the General Hugh Shelton Undergraduate Leadership Award of Excellence. During his time at NC State, Jared was not only a scholar, but also an active traveler. He studied abroad in both Kenya and Botswana. He volunteered for veterinary service projects in Ecuador, India, and New Mexico. And he participated in alternative spring break trips to Arizona, Colorado, and to the Gulf Coast. After graduation, Jared will serve as a summer intern in Washington, D.C. for the Humane Society of the United States, and then for the office of North Carolina Senator Elizabeth Dole. Jared hopes to receive master's degrees in government and public policy, as well as a doctorate in veterinary medicine. In the future, he plans to be a public servant who is dedicated to animal advocacy and social justice issues. He is the son of Ms. Jan West of Sarasota, Florida, and Mr. Martin Milrad of New York City, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, to speak for the class of 2006, Mr. Jared Milrad.
Thank you, Dr. Oblinger. They told me to keep it short, so congratulations. Oh, you expected a speech or something? Okay. Okay, well, I wrote something this morning, so if you'll just flatter me. No, just kidding. That's a joke. Congratulations to all of you. Good morning and welcome, President Bowles. Welcome, esteemed members of the Board of Trustees, Board of Governors as well. Welcome, Chancellor Oblinger, administrators, faculty, and staff. Welcome to our alumni, our future alumni, family, mom and dad. I'll clean my room after I'm done, I promise. Okay, cool. Okay. Friends and invited guests. And most of all, that's right, most especially, welcome to all of you, the outstanding class of 2006. Over the past few years, we were moved by tragedy, uprooted by controversy, and unfettered by inspiration. Terrorism frightened us. Racial slurs on campus angered us. The war in Iraq divided and sobered us. And a parking lot tragedy clouded a serene day of football. One chancellor moved on, and a familiar face filled her shoes with high hopes. There were old homecoming traditions made new, cultural celebrations that exposed our common humanity, and new faces, or sometimes no faces, in a changing administration. We resolved to still celebrate major victories in Wolfpack sports and to frequently stop traffic in the parades that followed. We united against city council policies that might hurt students, became divided by a bitter presidential election, and then polarized by a student body president who called himself the pirate captain. We cried, we cheered, we studied, and we slept, sometimes. We built support for new organizations and new ideas, and led service projects in Raleigh and across the nation. Amid all the tragedy, controversy, and inspiration, NC State shaped us into global citizens. For me, NC State inspired a desire to serve and to learn overseas, where I witnessed the austere despair of having no choices in a heavy-handed world. In Kenya and Ecuador, local students asked me what they needed to do to study in America. In India, crippled children no older than 10 years old begged me for food to eat, the equivalent of $1 or less. And in Louisiana, while sifting through mounds of debris with many of you from Hurricane Katrina. Fragments from waterlogged dreams reached out to me. Toys, notebooks, and a certificate of achievement for a 6-year-old boy. His home destroyed, his community shattered by a hurricane, like that pane of glass covering his certificate of achievement. I wondered how this boy would achieve from now on. I wondered that if my neighborhood was affected like his, how could he achieve, and would I still be standing here with all of you today? What can I do, I wondered, and in fact, what can all of us do for this boy and for the thousands like him who must every day bear the misanthropic winds of misfortune? You see, I have come to realize that this boy is not alone. I have come to realize that this boy and so many of our peers in Asia, Africa, and even down the street in Raleigh would do anything to be with us here today. They, like most of our parents and grandparents here today, could only have dreamed of attending, much less graduating from college. You know, nearly a century ago, my own great-grandparents landed in what was known as the shores of liberty, their backs to religious persecution and their eyes on starting anew in a foreign land. Like so many others, my immigrant ancestors held the selfless belief that if not them, then their children or grandchildren would achieve a great education in a welcoming nation. So today, whether you are a first-generation American or a descendant of immigrants, whether you have the urban background that I do or the rural upbringing of so many others, whether you can build homes as an engineer for an impoverished family in North Carolina, or counsel orphan children as a sociologist in South Africa. Today, we are members of a global neighborhood where there exists great opportunity and yet great inequity. On the global stage, where we are that one of 100 people, the minority, the college-educated, we all have important lessons to learn and very important roles to play. You know, just recently, while studying abroad in Botswana, a small country the size of Texas in southern Africa, I met a wise-eyed man who told me, "Moto ka moto, bato ka bato." It means person by person, people by people. In the coming months and years, person by person, we will rise to the dreams of the girl who has the vision but not the means. Person by person, we will lift up the boy who suffers from the worst kind of poverty, the poverty of neglect and of spirit. And person by person, we will empower the single mother who has great plans for her son, but no financial ability to afford them. As the newest collective link in a pack of thousands of alumni, and as vital resources to one another in a smaller but more complex and challenging world, we will not be still. Because over the past few years, we were moved by tragedy, unfettered by inspiration, and uprooted by controversy. Now, today, in this moment, on this ground, we move forward. We move forward free from the manacles of those who say we are too young, free from those who say it is too soon, that the world is too vast, the problems too great. We move forward from the nurturing shadow of our student lives into a brilliant sunlight where we will continue to serve the most needy Americans and people across the world, just like that 6-year-old boy in Louisiana, his home and his community in ruin. Indeed, we move to achieve gracefully and generously as we fulfill NC State's land grant mission. Finally, we move to seize what is to come, but not too hastily or casually. but rather with the wisdom we have gained working for the global good right here in the heart of Raleigh, North Carolina. Whether you were born in the brilliant shadow of the Blue Ridge Mountains or beneath the hidden peaks of the Himalayas, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, my fellow graduates, the next move is ours. Thank you and congratulations.